Mild temperatures couldn't spoil the fun as Lake Orion residents came out for the second annual Winter Festival.
The Lake Orion DDA is looking for your input in determining the future of the downtown area.
The Orion Art Center has a new executive director who is busy planning a full slate of events for 2016.
And the Orion Historical Society is working hard to preserve Lake Orion's past.
Hi, I'm Ciaramitaro.
And I'm Jonathan Jackson.
We'll have these stories plus much more right here on ONTV News. Lake Orion residents were invited to come out for the second annual Winter Festival, but mild temperatures forced organizers to make some last-minute changes. Last year, the Rotary Club held their first annual Ice Cup Golf Challenge on frozen Lake Orion, but mild temperatures leading up to this year's event made the ice unsafe. Organizers were forced to lay out a new 9-hole course at the last moment. On Saturday, February 6th, participants gathered at the Auger and Associates building on M24, where event chair Stephen Auger explained the changes.
Well, we had to make the decision whether to do the event or postpone it for a couple of weeks or whatever, and we decided to go ahead with it and lock in on our date. And so we had to improvise the course. And I think we did a good job with coming up with some interesting holes here in the downtown village. In fact, we've had people tell us that they want to make sure that's included, regardless of the ice next year. That they want to have the 3 holes in the village because they enjoyed that so much. So that's good input, and we're going to do that. And but we'd like to be on the ice again next year. So hopefully the weather works that way.
14 teams took part in the event, which took participants from Pelton's Point on the shores of Lake Orion to the streets of downtown Lake Orion. One hole had golfers teeing off right on Broadway Street. The event acts as a fundraiser for the Lake Orion Rotary.
We do a lot of work with the Lake Orion School District, and then we do work. We have a Nigerian water project that we're working on, and we also do some things for Beds for Kids as our premium project. So when people need beds, they come to the Rotary, and we're able to supply those.
The fun continued later that afternoon with the Lions Club's second annual outhouse race on Broadway Street. A dozen teams took part in the race, doubling last year's participation, and most of the teams showed up wearing crazy costumes.
Well, they had a 3-member team. One person gets inside, and then 2 pushing the outhouse on wheels, and they had to race down the street, change out the toilet paper at the midway point. Person inside gets out, swaps the toilet paper, gets back in. They race to the end, and then they have to take a plunger with a basketball on it, run around the outhouse, get back in, turn around, and run back as fast as they can. It was a timed race, and the winners take home the coveted gold toilet seat.
Each team took part in 2 races. The fastest times were tallied to narrow the field to 4 teams. After the first race of the finals, it was the Booty Snatchers who came away with the bronze toilet seat. In the final race of the day to determine the 2016 champion, Captain Sparrow faced off against Urasis Dragons, and it was a photo finish.
They hit at the end.
We have two of the best people in the world, Michael Collier, the lead pusher, and the toilet paper dropper, Alicia Flynn. At this point, full team effort, except for the last race, seemed to be more the pushers that really carried it through.
Yeah.
But time was really made up at the turn. We were really good at the turn all the way around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you guys take part last year?
No, first year.
First year.
First year.
What would you say is the key to winning this year?
Endurance. Endurance. Being able to do the last sprint is tough. The turn is probably the hardest part, but not running into the person trying to get back in the porta-john. We hit her pretty hard one time. Like her back is pretty bad.
What do you think of the event and taking part in the
It was a blast. It was a blast. A lot of people came out. It was everyone screaming, yelling. Perfect mid-February event.
Oh, this is a great fundraiser for us and a lot of fun too. So everybody in the community benefits on that aspect. But with these funds, we're able to help a lot of people in the community with hearing aids and glasses and food and other resources when they need it. So a lot of help for charity all around town.
The next major Lions Club fundraiser will take place on Saturday, March 19th at the Knights of Columbus Hall. The second annual Lions Races encourages teams to purchase and decorate large wooden lions. On the night of the event, the Lions will race against each other using giant dice. To get involved, visit LakeOrionLions.org or visit their Facebook page.
Over the past several years, the village of Lake Orion has undergone significant changes, many due to the efforts of the Downtown Development Authority. And now the DDA is asking business owners and residents to express their vision for Lake Orion through 2020 and beyond. On Thursday, January 28th, the Lake Orion DDA hosted the last of several meetings to discuss the future of Lake Orion. The meeting was an opportunity for business owners, government officials, and residents to share ideas and express concerns about issues such as parking, events, and business recruitment.
Well, our goal was to have a really open discussion on the future of downtown. What do we want downtown to look like in 2030, in 2040, in 2050? What are we doing? What kind of businesses do we want to have down here? What kind of infrastructure, projects, walkability, parks, amenities, all of those things. So we worked with a consultant to help facilitate about 10 different stakeholder meetings.
Currently, the DDA's tax increment financing plan is set to expire in 2020, although they're hoping to extend it through 2030 and beyond. With the help of a consultant, the DDA will now take all the information gathered and present to the Village Council in the spring of 2016.
I should also mention that one of the main reasons for this is because the DDA is set to sunset in 2020. So even though there's still work to be done in management that we need to have happen, if we don't have a funding mechanism, who is going to manage those things after 2020? So we're putting all this and we're gathering all this information so we can extend our plan and extend the life of the DDA past 2020. So we're going to summarize everything we've learned in the last 2 days, and we're going to pull out the things that we've heard over and over again throughout the different stakeholder groups. We'll incorporate that into a plan, and then eventually the Village Council will adopt that plan.
Although the brainstorming sessions have come to an end, it's not too late to voice your opinion on the future of downtown Lake Orion. Send an email to office@downtownlakeorion.org or give them a call at 248-693-9742.
The start of a new year marked the beginning of a new era at the Orion Art Center. A new executive director has been hired, the third in 3 years, and she's excited about the future of the Art Center. A fresh coat of paint isn't the only thing brightening up the Orion Art Center, which has been serving the Lake Orion community since 1979. Former school teacher Laureen Porter was notified in December that she was named the new executive director at the Art Center. Porter grew up in the Thumb area. Now a Metamora resident, she last worked as a director of an independent school. She shared with us her vision of the future of the Orion Art Center.
Well, first of all, I have to admit what went through my head was, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. After that, I got serious, and I thought a community center is so vital, so important. Any of the nonprofit agencies that serve the community are very, very important. Art is just something I love very, very much, and I'm an artist myself. So when I was given the opportunity to direct this center, I thought, oh my gosh, I want it to be vital, I want it to be energetic, I want it to serve well the community, and I think my term would be a reciprocal relationship between the Art Center and the community.
She told us that it will be business as usual at the Art Center. Painting, drawing, and pottery classes will continue to be offered at the studio in Diamond Dave's building on M24, and a wide variety of shows are scheduled throughout 2016. As a matter of fact, the first show of the year will kick off with a reception on Friday, February 12th. The Teacher and Members show will exhibit the artwork of Art Center members and the instructors who teach the classes.
For me, it's a matter of celebrating the artistry and the teaching of our studio teachers. It's a matter of, in a sense, providing the kind of display that lets a community know how vibrant the artistry is in this center. Both the artistry of producing a piece of art, but also the artistry that goes into teaching. And that excites me a great deal.
The Art Center's website is currently undergoing some major changes as well, but if you'd like more information about upcoming events and classes, you can visit orionartcenter.org or give them a call at 248-693-4986.
On Wednesday, February 10th, the Lake Orion Community Schools Board of Education will be holding a school board meeting to discuss their current budget deficit. The Board of Education will be discussing various ways to eliminate the budget deficit for the current school year and are looking to implement action right away. The meeting will work as an extended workshop, allowing parents and students to ask questions and have detailed discussions with board administratives. The workshop will take place from noon to 7 p.m. on Wednesday, February 10th at the school board office located at 315 North Lapeer Street. For more information, log on to lakeorion.k12.mi.us.
The Lake Orion Historical Society was founded in 1994 as a community organization dedicated to the preservation of Orion's legacy. However, over the last decade, the group became less active in the community. But on October 12, 2015, the group reconnected with an enthusiastic outlook. Residents gathered at the Orion Township Public Library on Monday, February 8th, to learn more about the history of the Lake Orion Community Schools. A presentation on the topic was delivered, and then members had a chance to break into groups for further discussion. Group Director Lisa Sokol says the Orion Historical Society is a necessity for this community.
I think it's really important when you look back at some of the different projects that we've worked on. Some of those things include the historic Port Barn. We moved that barn that was going to be torn down to park property, and we also did that with a one-room schoolhouse that was located on Silver Bell Road, and that was brought to Friendship Park. So through the efforts of the Historical Society, we've preserved both of those buildings. We also worked diligently on historic sites being researched and then put on both the state and the national register. And all those things help to sustain the fabric of the history that's in your community.
The group is always looking for new members and new ways to preserve Lake Orion's history.
We're trying to reinvigorate those people that live in our community that are interested in preserving local history, that are looking at doing some projects with us. We're hoping to work on the Howarth School, which is over at Friendship Park, maybe work on the Port Barn, to do some local tours of cemeteries and possibly reinstitute a home tour that we used to do through our group.
For more information about the Orion Historical Society, you can log on to their newly revamped website, orionhistoricalsociety.org.
Between the holidays and the post office food drive in May, the local food pantry shelves can get a little light, and that's why ONTV has chosen this time of the year to host its annual 5 or 5 food drive. On Saturday, February 13th, ONTV will host its 6th annual 5 or 5 food drive from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Residents are invited to visit the ONTV studio at the Orion Center to donate non-perishable food items or cash. And for every 5 items or $5 you donate, you'll receive a raffle ticket that will give you a chance to win a wide variety of items donated by generous Lake Orion businesses. And while you're visiting, be sure to stick around and enjoy the entertainment that will be taking place throughout the day at the Orion Center.
We're hoping people show up on the 13th. That's the big community event. You know, we've been collecting since the 18th of January for fish. But the main thing is to get people into the Orion Center to listen to some live music. We have a lot of our friends of ONTV and volunteers are very talented beyond just video production that they do for us. They play music, so we're going to have pretty much an acoustic flavor of all of our live music this year. But yeah, come on in, because it's not just donating, but we're saying thank you with some entertainment.
Businesses throughout the community are accepting donations as well, including Grondin's Hair Center, Broadway Dance, Hollywood Market, the Orion Township Library, as well as the Township Hall and Lake Orion Village offices. All food and money raised through the food drive will benefit Oxford Orion Fish, a food pantry that serves families in need in North Oakland County. In 2015, Fish distributed over 163,000 pounds of food, benefiting over 1,800 households, and Fish is 100% volunteer run. But the pantry depends on monetary donations to help pay utility bills and maintain their building in Oxford.
I started volunteering 10 years ago, and I was just so surprised.
Yeah.
Wonderful group of volunteers, wonderful community. I couldn't ask for any more.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah, and and it's from their hearts. They give because they want to. And on stocking days, on Saturdays, families come in, and there'll be kids. And they just love it. We had one family that came in and cleaned the pantry on Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
And I just find that is really a gift. That is truly amazing. And I always say that Fish is only as good as their volunteers and their donors. And I'll tell you, this community makes us look terrific. And we're very thankful for that.
Again, ONTV's 5 or 5 food drive takes place on Saturday, February 13th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And if you can't make it on Saturday, you can stop in during the week to drop off your donations and still enter the raffle. ONTV is located at 1349 Jocelyn Road, south of Clarkson Road in the Orion Center. And for more information, visit orionontv.org or give us a call at 248-693-3377.
That's all the time we have for this edition of ONTV News. For daily updates on what's happening right here in Lake Orion, follow us on Facebook and like our YouTube page. On behalf of the hardworking staff here at ONTV, I'm Ciaramitaro.
And I'm Jonathan Jackson. We'll see you next time, folks.